How's it going, guys? My name's Taki, and I'm super excited to finally introduce to you my mobile-only hardcore Iron Man series, Mobile by the Way. Before we jump into this first episode, I have a little bit of information to give you. The guidelines for this series are very basic. Basically, all progress made on the account must come from using only the RS3 mobile client. The only time I can use the desktop client is if there's something broken or missing in the mobile client that hinders my progress. I have a few goals for this series. First, my short-term goal is to get the quest point cape. My long-term goals are to get tier 90 weapons and gear, the max cape, I want to complete treasure trails and boss logs, and I want to end the account by getting the warden title. I'm going to be using a new release schedule for this series. You can expect new videos on YouTube every Monday and a new thing that I'm referring to as Mobile Mondays, along with one weekly live stream on Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 2200 game time on Twitch. I'm going to be generating content for this series across several different social media platforms. You can follow me on Twitch at twitchtv.takimaki for my Saturday live streams. You can find in-game screenshots from the mobile client on Instagram at Takimaki Games. And finally, you can find behind-the-scenes pictures and polls by turning on your post notifications inside the YouTube mobile app or by visiting the community page on this channel. I hope you're as excited as I am to start this fresh new look at Runescape 3. And with that, let's get started with this first episode. Alright, and here we go, first login. This account that I'm using right now has membership for the entire year under the new Premier membership program, and I did that for a few reasons, partly because I wanted the override that came with it, and I also didn't want any reason not to do the series, and I knew that I would do it if I had already paid up front. I opted to skip the whole Ashdale starting area, and I'm going to start doing the Tales of God Wars quest to get some early divination experience, and to do that I'm going to need to make my way over to the desert. Now, I have to be completely honest, the mobile client has its moments. Sometimes it works flawlessly and you'll have no problems at all, and then there's other times where you'll just randomly freeze solid and you won't be able to do anything, but it seems really strange because you can see everything around you being animated. One thing that is difficult about using this application is if you get disconnected and you get that please wait sign, it will not even try to reconnect you. It'll go directly back to the login screen, which is what's happening on screen here. One of the biggest priorities for me when I'm starting this account is to get the Lodestone network online because I'm going for that quest point cape, and this is going to make it very easy traversing around the area. You're going to see in this series that I switch between using the microphone that I'm using now and a different one. I used a total of 3 different microphones doing this first episode just to get a feel for what I wanted to use. So I just wanted to give you a heads up when you hear something different, it's because I was using either a lavalier mic, the phone mic, or this mic that I'm using right now.
In before death from heat. Okay, I'm not too worried. We should be able to make it there with no problems. It is right over here.
And this was almost the end of the entire series.
I wonder if the map can go any more than this. No, seems to be it. So it's not too bad. It's just not very functional for walking around, but that might change later on.
The panic sets in.
Oh, shit. No, we are definitely not staying here. No, get the hell out of the desert. It is time to get... We almost died, like, right away. The lizard just, like, wombo comboed me. Let's get out of here. No. That was a bad idea. Oh my god, I would have lost hardcore status right there. That would have been ridiculous. Alright, let's do something different to start off. I could have gotten DC'd right there. That would have been... It would have been really, really terrible, especially since this account already has membership for the entire year. Can you imagine if that alligator would have comboed me down? I'm going to try to get my HP up to somewhere above dog shit. I'm going to go down to the desert with food. I really don't want to risk. That would have been a very needless risk. I was thinking that that wouldn't have been a problem at all, but that definitely would have been me dead. I was planning on rocking this, just the OG, but I'm going to go full pay to win and use this because I think it looks badass. We're going to apply that. Alright, so I've been doing this for about 10 or so minutes. I've been stocking up on some magic equipment. We have a bunch of Staff of Airs that I'm going to sell to the shop. If we look over at the stats, we've gotten a few level up. Initially got some attack and defense, even though I wasn't really planning on it. We have 22 magic, and we have 17 HP, which should be enough that I won't have to worry about dying to something stupid. Alright, we got 23 magic, and I'm going to go for one more HP level before we leave, just because I'm so close. Okay, we're good to go, so let's teleport out of here. It's not joking, it is dangerous, you can die here. Okay, we should have enough money to be able to travel with this guy. And we're going to go right to Narda. See, it was a 1k fee, so I didn't have enough money to do this the first time. Alright, so he's given me the books. Now we're going to make our way over to our next place. It's going to be walk all the way down to Camelot and unlock all of the lodestones on that side of the world. Alright, I made it down to Yanil, and we have a couple of the lodestones unlocked right now. Some of the major ones for the quest that we're going to be doing, which is mainly from Catherby South. I'm now going to make my way over to the area that we need to siphon the memories for this quest, and I'm going to check out how much XP it gives for level 1 divination. You don't know how far off you can click. Like, for example, I'm clicking off there. I don't know if that's going to be clicking on a tree or if that was me clicking on the ground. But if the map is a little bit bigger, you know that when you put your point there, the little flag, that you're going to be going for a while. But the flag doesn't show up on the mini-map when you click off in the distance. So this map being rectangular like this isn't really beneficial unless you are walking, I don't know, like this. But I kind of want to have my screen face this way. And we have a lot more space, so I wish there was one more option where you could make this box like extend out to a 4x3 instead of what it looks like 16x9. I will say that I notice now, having 1 agility, like how garbage it is. I run out of run energy all the time. I've never even seen this message before. I don't think I've ever run out of run energy. So we're going to be collecting these ones right here. And this area is a little bit whoa, 250? Got 3 divination from 1. It is super laggy, so we're going to do this. I think if I do this, it's just too much. So if I do this, it's not too much to load. This is crazy XP. I wasn't expecting it to be this. Alright, so we're already at 20 divination. And we have filled up the chapter. There's nothing else that we can do for this one, so we're going to progress to the next thing that I have, which is to do the waterfall quest. I found a little bit of a bug so far when I tried doing this the first time. I wanted to make sure that I clicked the use option on this, but it wasn't working. Sometimes you can get your click stuck, so right now it's definitely highlighted. This should have no problem working. And it did. So we got the 1 quest point, the huge boost to attack and strength, and we've got the gold bars and the mithril seats, and this is going to shoot us up really high. So now our strength and attack are both level 30, which is a really good base to start off, and our total level is a whopping 156 after both of these 2 quests that we've done. There's this weird bug with quests that you won't be able to click on any of the options, and it'll glitch out like that. I'm not sure what causes that to happen, but that's happened already a couple of times. Once when I had the map behind it, it didn't work. See, it didn't happen just then, but it's not consistent. Here we are with another time where the quest options don't work at all. This is not really enjoyable. Nothing doesn't work. Here we go. Another quest done, 3 quest points so far. And we're finishing up the stronghold of player safety. I'm going to put both of these lamps on farming because I'm trying to access player-owned farms as soon as possible. That's going to bump us all the way up to 10, so we're almost ready to access that. And then I'm going to put that was really strange. Put that on there, and that'll get me a couple of levels. Now we're going to do Stronghold of Security, so I'm going to leave here.
And we are currently at 191 total level. I am so pumped that this event came at the same time that I'm starting this account. These are really, really good events to do when you are trying to get back into the game or start a new account. And I'm just about to run out of materials for this. I got to 27 mining and 208 total level. And that's going to give me a really good boost for doing shooting stars. I've been doing some farming runs here and there to try to get the 17 farming you need to do player-owned farms, but I forgot that you can just shovel this shit, so I'm going to do this all the way up to 17. And here we are at 219 total level. I got 17 farming. I need to work on my construction level before I'll be able to do anything in this farm, but at least I've got farming out of the way. Oh, the struggle is real. So there was a shooting star that I could use at my level. Well, it was one level above where I could do it. It was a shooting star that was a tier 4, and nobody wanted to come and mine it that was inside the FC, so I had to bring my other account over here and mine it down to a 3 so that I could mine it on this character. But it shouldn't be a problem anymore after this, because once you get to above 50 mining, you don't really have any problem having other people join you for these types of things. And the Teletubby is out. I got to 38 mining, and I'm at 237 total level. This was a really, really good boost coming off of that event, and now my mining's at a really decent place. I love this because it gives you that 50k. You get your runes, your gold, and some gems from mining it, and my cash stack is primarily going to come from this on the early on until I start doing some PVM. Doing a little bit of wood cutting and fire making while I'm cooking IRL, and just testing out how chill this is, and we just hit 19 fire making. Second day of the community event, and the hype is real. I've had to tune down the settings on my phone a little bit because these worlds are getting really populated and it's easy to crash. I've got two options for this. I'm going to go with Hunter because my fire making level is already pretty decent and my Hunter level is garbage. And if this is anything like it was yesterday, I should be able to get around level 20 with the 100 stack that it gets you. And this is entirely AFK, so this will give me a really good starting point for doing the big Chinchampa minigame. Currently at 15 Hunter, and we're at 306, and I believe that I will be able to have enough of these tools to be able to get to 20 Hunter after all. I ended up getting to 22 Hunter, and now I'm trying to find another shooting star. These are really good because you can do these multiple times per day, but you can only get that 50k bonus once per day. But this is really good at the early levels because you can AFK all the way until the stone transitions to another stage. And we are currently at 315 total level. I came back over to these trolls because I want to get 30 magic for Surge, so it's easier to move around. I am also back on my EOC settings because my magic level is high enough that I can do more damage using this than I can on Legacy. And there we go. One of the weirdest things about this interface, you can see it right now, I have Surge on there twice. When you put anything on this bar now, you can't remove it. And it wasn't like this when I first made my video on release. You could put things on there and you could remove them. Now you can't put anything on there unless it's a skill. And the only way that I can think that I'd be able to get around this is if I was to use a desktop client, but it's not a problem right now. I think that they can fix this, and it's only a little bit of a nuisance because there's been some times where I've wanted to put stuff on there that I could drop quickly by just spamming it, but the option isn't available, so I've just been banking things that I otherwise would have just power leveled by dropping. Here's kind of a big milestone. We got 40 wood cutting, and that was primarily from getting logs for fire making and fletching and doing evil trees. Day 2 of the event, and the two skills that were available were smithing and herblore. I decided to go with herblore because there's a really good quest to get smithing experience early on, and it's very easy. This was a little bit underpowered compared to the other day. I was only able to get to level 16. It's still a really good start, and it'll be a nice early boost to the skill.
Well, it's currently the third day of this event, and there are 3 skills that we can train today: cooking, fishing, and invention. My fishing level is already high, so I decided to go with cooking, and I was able to go from 15 to 27, which is very good. My fishing level is 30, and my cooking level is 27, but I might be able to get up to 28 and a half. I have 6 more supplies. After this, I'm going to try to get 1 more evil tree in, and I'm going to go back on the questing train. So far, I only have 3 quest points, and I'm probably going to be better served doing quests, but I wanted to do some skilling before I just started going quest crazy. I know that it's more efficient to do quests, but it takes some of the enjoyment out of doing the skilling in the early levels, and I've done a lot of wood cutting and a lot of fletching. Also, take a look at this animation when you, like, sprinkle salt. It's so, it's so silly.
Now here we are. I was trying to come over here to be able to do a rune sphere, and I want to do a rune sphere because you get a really, really large chunk of experience when you finish one, and if you can do one when you're really, really close to level 1, then you are going to get a large boost in your level. Unfortunately, it's really, really difficult to find one of those really low-level rune spheres in the first floor, so I'm going to just do some training here and there, especially when I have a daily challenge. But I had dreams of getting a 25k drop and then shooting all the way up. I'm going to start doing the dailies that I have on my list, and one of the big ones is going to be doing the monthly, which is the god statues, and that's going to help me get my construction level off the ground before I start doing temple trekking to get some supplies and some other stuff like that. I really, really want to get player-owned farms off the ground because that's going to be my fastest ticket to getting 99 farming with a really, really small amount of work. Almost forgot about the circus. Funny thing about this, I did the magic portion of this and I was able to get every single one of them as a successful spell, which hardly ever happens when I'm doing it with 99 magic. My range one failed every single one, and this one wasn't really that successful, but I did get a couple of levels in the early game for agility. She said she's been following me forever, but I've only just started this account and my first episode's not even done. This is the Meg Weekly, I believe, and you just answer some questions. You can get some really good rewards. You can get some money or some skilling lamps, and this is something that I neglect really, really badly on my 2 accounts. So I'm going to try to make this something that I do every single Wednesday, I believe, when it resets. My luck is so bad. I tell myself that I want to prioritize doing the big Chinchompa, and then every time I go to look at it, I've got like 5 minutes left and I rush all the way over there, and then by the time I get in here, there's 1 minute left and I can only catch like 4 butterflies. Almost 500 total level, by the way. And here we go, 500 total level. I've been camping the Nexus for a very long time now. It's not really efficient to do unless you've got a group of people doing it with you, but there's nobody that's doing this anymore. And if you do it by yourself, you can get all the way up to 40 prayer for free, as long as you don't care about wasting a ton of time doing it. Anyways, guys, that's the first episode of Mobile by the Way and the first 500 total levels. You can expect another episode on Monday. Remember to follow me on all the socials and drop a comment below if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you again next week. Until next time, Taki out.